Hello! Welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching ReZero Episode 5. So, last episode, we start off with Subaru waking up in the mansion that he's been taken to. He wakes up and decides to walk around a little bit, walks into a room, and finds this blonde girl in basically a library. I forget what she calls herself. The name I know her by is Beatrice, I think. Pretty sure they called her something else, though. Anyway. She ends up, I think she said, draining his mana or something? Basically draining his energy. And then he passes out and they put him back in the room. Either that. No, he didn't. Never mind. He wakes up back in the room where we meet Rem and Ram, the two maids, twin sisters. And he's basically being kind of, what's the word be? What would the word be? Pervy? A bit. And Amelia comes in and sees him, and they start saying, oh, this guy is violating us in his mind. And they end up going out and to the I don't remember if they showed him the grounds first, like the area. I'm pretty sure that's what they did, where he sees the blonde girl again and they explain what she does. Basically she takes care of the library because there's books in there that if people got a hold of would be really bad. And then they go into the dining area where they're eating breakfast, and the guy that owns the place shows up. Subaru actually thought it was a clown that they hired because he's got his face is covered in makeup. And the guy's like, oh, no, I'm, the person that owns this place. I forget what he is, like a duke or something. And they start talking. And, basically, he just asks to work there. For helping Amelia, because she's basically that emblem she has signifies that she's been selected as a candidate to be the new king or the new ruler of that country. So losing it was really bad, or I should say getting it stolen was really bad. But that explains why those other people wanted it. Because if they have it, that means they can be up for the ruler of that country. So thankfully she got it back. So yeah, he says he'd like to work there. They get him all outfitted in a butler outfit and tell him to work with Ram, who has a ton of work, gardening and cleaning and doing all kinds of different things, and it's an exhausting day. Doesn't even know how to peel potatoes. They look totally messed up. Meanwhile, Rem apparently knows how to do everything. There's nothing she doesn't know how to do. Ram is good at certain things, but not as good as Rem, apparently. They brought that up. And then they show him talking to Amelia, and she's like, you could have just asked to live here instead of working here. He's like, I didn't think of that. Because he explains that usually he just asks for what pops in his head. Like, at that moment. Like when he asked Amelia for her name. That's what he really wanted to know at that time. This time, he just wanted to work there. So instead of saying, can I live here? He asked to work. So they made him a butler. And then he and Amelia make plans to go into town the next day. She says, as long as you finish all your work and all this and that, then yeah, we can go. So he's getting all excited, goes to sleep, and he wakes up starting over from when Rem and Ram are in the room with him. Not realizing at first that he has been killed sometime in the middle of the night. He had a bunch of cuts on his hand from trying to peel the potatoes, and he was cutting himself. So he had bandages all over his hands, and when he looks at his hands, they're all clean because everything's been reset. So, yeah, somebody killed him. I know Ram and the Duke or whatever he is were talking about him. My assumption is maybe he ordered Ram to kill him, because they were asking about whether he was a spy. Like, could he be a spy for another country? And my only guess is that she did it. But that's just based off of what I saw. I could be wrong. Could have been somebody else who snuck in and killed him. Just have to see. Hopefully they get into that in this episode. So let's get started. The video is going to be located over here. And the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.